The elites' revolution. I have to hand it to the corporate Hitlers, the traitors in Congress, and those around the world who sell their souls for green bloody money. You send the demons in to exorcise the good souls, the ones with the healthy ego, high self-esteem. It's that simple for your agenda. This story is for the children that die fighting for a just cause, and the brave adults who stand up to injustices at the expense of their own lives. In the hunt for their own happiness, wrote Adolf Hitler, people fall all the more out of heaven into hell. I would conclude that statement to be true of the narcissistic, satanical worshippers there in Congress and around the world, working for the corporate agenda. The green bloody warmongers, whose agenda is control, power, money, and soul murdering, defined as losing the will to live. That's right, starving people out, forcing them to revolt. Unfortunately, the elites' revolution has kicked our asses around the world, and the masses are paying for it. But we do have some heroism of consciousness. The children, the brave souls, the one with the biggest secret of their power, which we call the genius, has a great deal to do with courage and daring, a great deal to do with sheer nerve. See, there was these 6 young boys who decided to protest because they couldn't afford the milk and some other groceries. So when they were going to school, they simply asked to have the bus fare reduced. Well, guess what? Corporate America comes in and kills them. That's right. Those brave big men. And then there was another incident where Ford Motor Company brought in the green fucking Ford vehicles and simply grabbed union leaders and shoved them in the vehicle and took them off to jails and tortured them. The shock therapy came into play. Because Ford Motor Company didn't like these union leaders creating stability. Because corporate Hitlers like instability. They want to work you and work you and work you for the lowest pay they possibly can, and there's too much evidence to show otherwise. Now, we've all heard how Mr. Ford at one time gave a damn about his employees. Well, that might be true, and there are some that may do concern themselves with the welfare of society and their employees as well as themselves. And the evidence weighs like a balanced scale. Some do and some don't. Unfortunately, I think it's good to be aware there are those corporate Hitlers that have no concern of your welfare, and this selling you on this Karl Marx theory of sacrifice yourself for the betterment of the whole is all grand. But it's not if you're sold out at the expense of others reaping the awards from your swimming in your sweat, trying to be an equal player. So, basically in the United States, here we had CNF, this big corporation, and it had about, this parent company had about 50 companies underneath it, and they had airplanes falling out of the sky. They had pilots complaining to the FAA saying, hey, listen, these planes are going to fall out of the sky. They're going to put a hole in the wall, in the ground. And you know what happened? Nothing. The hole came about, though, and one airplane, a DC-8, almost killed 200 people at an auction yard. They all left, and then the plane hit about 2 hours after they left the auction yard. And that's on Emory. You can Google it. The same with the trucking industry. All of a sudden, you know, one of the aspects of deregulation was getting a removal in play. And one of the removals, truckers only had to go to 10 states. They were making them go throughout the United States in illegal trucks, and they were crashing all over the place. Not alone, they didn't have any workers' comp, and the CEO was making $5 billion a year. Now, I would think that the average human being on the planet wants just to have a fair playing field. some justice, some honor, some dignity. But unfortunately, we have a few people with low self-esteem and apparently a dysfunctional psyche and are motivated by this satanical evilness that are going to control the masses. So it's our duty to demand just laws and demand enforcement of these laws. They're not being enforced. The laws are there. However, they're being ignored. And it's up to those of us to basically bond with others to make it a more just and fair world. Peaceful world. Not one where we feel like we have to take risk at our own expense for the benefit of these military states and these few elites who basically come along and eradicate everything on the books that the good people have done to put in play.